Hello, I'm Izzy. I'm joined today with Ido of Evil Genius Prodigies. Ido, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So, we just want to kind of let the viewers kind of get to know some of the players and coaches that are taking or are competing in the tournament. So, if you want to kind of just introduce yourself and let the audience know how you got involved in League of Legends, be great.
Yeah, so I'm Ido. I'm the head coach of the EGP program that we have here at Evil Geniuses. And I've been coaching for about 4 years now, mostly like in the collegiate space. This is my first like real trip into amateur, and so far it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, so how is some of the differences between like or I guess maybe what's would you say is the largest difference between collegiate and amateur?
Well, I can't speak for all of collegiate or all of amateur, but in my experience, collegiate was pretty low committal. I think a lot of people, of course, are focusing on school, especially at our school. We cared a lot more about academics than we did about our collegiate season. Uh, but here at EGP, I think everyone is on board with like doing the best they can to go pro. So the commitment and the level of passion, I think, is a lot higher, at least in my experience.
Yeah, and is that something that you really favor about the scene is the level of like commitment and passion?
Yeah, I really like that. As much as I pour in to my team, they'll reciprocate and they want it as bad as I do.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys did it's the first day of the tournament and you guys went 2-0. Yeah. So it looks
Hmm.
like, you're correct with that statement. You're getting out what you're putting in for sure.
Hmm.
Um, so recently, one of your members has left EGP for the main Evil Geniuses roster, Danny. Do you
Right.
want to talk about that change a bit and kind of how that's maybe changed the team dynamic a bit, or just what's going on with that?
Yeah, I think like first of all, I'm really proud of Danny. I know that no matter what he does, he'll do really, really well. He's incredibly talented, and it was a pleasure to work with him. As far as how it changed EGP, I think it created a lot more room, especially with our old support Mist leaving as well. We had a lot of gaps in comms that needed to be filled, and Shoryu and Skytech have really stepped up and doing like the communication roles that we were missing, and they bring their own kind of twist on communication that we weren't used to. But it's definitely welcome, and it's starting to pan out.
Absolutely, and I think his transition from amateur to starting LCS is also goes to show just how powerful the amateur scene can be. So I look forward to watching or continuing to watch your new bot lane. Um, so that's great to hear that they're able to have been stepped up and fill in those gaps. What is one area of or I guess the amateur scene that you see the most improvement needing to happen?
Uh, I can't speak too much on it just because like I think my job is just to like be given the format that we have and the time that we have with our players and doing the best that I can with it. That being said, I think the like one thing that Riot did really really well is hearing us out that there's just too many games and it was too much to handle for a lot of the players, especially with it being not like really a high priority for a lot of teams, especially in the collegiate scene too. Those that were double dipping, it was near impossible for them. But as far as things that like I wish we could change right now is a couple things with when we're entering into new tournaments. The turnaround on getting us like our groups and the teams that we're gonna play versus has been a little tight. Um, like sometimes we'll have less than 24 hours to prep, draft, and do scouting reports on all the teams in our group. So that's definitely not ideal. Again, I'm not sure like a way to fix it. That's not really my area, but that part has been a bit rough.
Yeah, I can imagine because you really want to narrow down even the teams that you are scouting in your group is still probably a lot of work. So to just like blatantly have to keep your eye on everybody would be probably pretty overwhelming. So,
Yeah.
for sure. And then maybe lastly, or what are some of your expectations going into this tournament? Or I guess you guys have already started, but anything that you're looking forward to? Anything that you're looking forward to maybe showing off with this new roster?
Mhm. I think the amateur space is a lot more up for grabs than it was before. You saw like teams like Solafide before and No Org. They kind of come in with this roster where most other teams are saying, okay, well, who's going to compete for third? Um, but now it's definitely not the case. Even you see teams with like remnants of those teams, like Zeus has the old mid laner for Solafide, and Wildcard Red has the jungler from Solafide. So you still see teams that are powerhouses in that sense that they have a lot of experience and they already gel together. But I don't think it's nearly the level that it was before, where it really was just about like who's gonna upset them, who can have a good day. But now it's much more about, who can be consistent, who can be on top of their game even from last split. A lot of new rosters are carrying over, so it'll be interesting to see how those teams continue to develop even past one split. But yeah, I think amateur in this split has been a lot more open, and it'll be really fun to see who can perform the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I look forward to that as well. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today and best of luck at the tournament.
Cool. Thank you very much for having me.
Yep. Bye.